Mm.
What's up, everybody? I'm Weston. First things first, I thought I'd give a little update about where I am in my writing work. I just finished a draft of a pilot. I really want to be done working on this so I can start on the next thing. And also, I've gotten a couple of notes a couple of times, which makes me think that it's something worth looking at fixing. Right now, I'm taking the time to do a quick review of that to see what I can do in a short amount of time to make the parts of the script that aren't working great work better. And in addition to that, I'm getting ready to start a brand new pilot. What's the difference between a project that sounds good on paper and one that has that itch to it that you really want to scratch? Because in my opinion, that's when you really want to start work on a story, when there's something that compels you to do it. Because it's not just, oh, we want to do, like in my case, a spaceship story. Cadets on a spaceship, way out of their depth. Okay, what else makes it just that you have to know more about it? And I call those things footholds. You know, that little something or series of somethings that make the story really itch for you, an itch you have to scratch. You know, footholds like you're climbing a mountain, because in a lot of ways you're about to. So let's see, what's an example of a foothold in a story that really did something for me? I put out my first novel a couple of years ago, Wicked City, and I kind of stepped around who I'd thought the main character would be, which is Lucas, this guy that lives up in this futuristic fortress skyscraper, and I started thinking about this girl who was super into him, that liked him but didn't really know him. And I came up with this kind of short story about her going to visit him, and something about things from her point of view, it added that extra push, you know, to the story to make it super, super interesting. It added a certain tone to it. And that short story is the first part of the book, the first 40 pages.
Now, where was I?
So if you're out to do a story, maybe for the first time, and you're like, well, what is a foothold? How will I know when I found one? Here's my recommendation. Go and look for irony in your story. And if you can put irony into a sentence-long pitch or log line, or, you know, like a summary of your story that's just a couple of sentences long, odds are you'll be able to find your first foothold in that. There's a couple of definitions of irony, so I just want to read the specific definition I'm talking about, and that is incongruity between the actual result of a sequence of events and the normal or expected result. In other words, you think things are going to be, there's an obvious way you think things will be, and then it's the opposite. One easy example of that kind of ironic pitch, right? Battlestar Galactica, the new one, the 2004 show. You know, the humans are wiped out by the Cylons, and the surviving fleet is defended by the oldest, you know, ship, the ship that's about to be turned into a museum. Not the most advanced, coolest ship. That's not the one that survives. It's the oldest one. It's ironic. I feel like we should do one more example that's not a spaceship show to really dial this in. Okay, who amongst you watches The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel? I love The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. The writing in it is incredible. Midge Maisel is ironic, like what happens to her. So, you know, her life falls apart, her husband's cheating on her, you know, like it all disintegrates. That's not a huge spoiler, that's in the first few minutes of the show. And then the fact that, you know, she didn't end up where she thought she would be is what makes her such an incredible comedian. what's supposed to happen in that story is that she lives happily ever after. You know, with her kids and her husband and her parents and da 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 da. So that's what I got today. Go find footholds in your stories. And when you have enough of those, it's gonna be something you kind of have to start work on. One last thing. If you are a new writer in any medium, anything narrative, and you're looking for a structure to get started, my advice is to go hit up Khan Academy, go to Pixar in a Box, and do the Art of Storytelling course. It's free. It's, in all seriousness, the smartest people on the planet talking about how they build story. I would start there ahead of any book, any seminar, anything you pay money for. If you're an experienced storyteller, maybe also check it out. I've learned so much from it. I'll be back next week. If there is something you want to see me talk about or cover, by all means, let me know in the comments. Go out, make stuff. I have talked for a while now. So I'm gonna go look at this footage and hopefully it's in focus and makes sense.